Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Zelda 2 Randomizer Tournament, the fourth match in the quarterfinals round. I'm joined with Buzz Thunder. Buzz, how are you?
Hello, Larry. I'm doing quite well. I'm ready for some Zelda 2 Randomizer. It's been a long time coming for this one a little bit. I'm happy to get it going.
Yes, so am I, actually. This is going to be the winner here plays Nirm in the semifinals. Semifinals switch to best of three, but we're not there yet. This is just a one and done match here for these guys. Winner moves on, loser goes home.
Yep, and then in the other bracket we do have a rematch again of Dig Shake and Unos. Dig Shake the creator and Unos the former champion.
Yes, and they are given the ready to go, and they have started. So we'll see what happens as soon as we start. What kind of mess we jump into here. Should be a lot of fun. This is very evenly matched, I think. Jackamus is very good at Jack and Jam, and that's an excellent Nickelodeon cartoon name, by the way. They are both very good at video games.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing I would say about this was I know Jam had his marathon. He's been doing a lot of Breath of the Wild stuff. Really, I haven't seen Jackmas stream, but we'll just see how much Jam gets back into the randomizer. And directly south of the northern castle, we do have a palace, which is either 3 or 6. So we'll call it 4.5 for right now.
The reason why these players are so similar, like you said, Jam has been doing other things. Jack hasn't been playing this game, but either of them seems they can just pick up any game again, and just be as good as they left, and even kind of improving somehow. It's especially we saw that with Jam early on in this tournament, where he didn't play Rando for a long time. In fact, it was a completely different game, I think, last time he tried it. And here he is in the quarterfinals. There's Heart Container Cave.
Yeah, it looks like east of that palace a little bit, you do find Heart Container Cave. There's also a town over there. So we're going to have an item and then a town identification here pretty soon.
Here's our first red Dyra of the... Oh, actually, simultaneous red Dyras on both screens. So Jack able to jump to 2-1-2. Jam is at 2. Was there a P bag in the swamp tile? Is that where Jam got his levels?
I didn't see it. I saw him in another one of these encounters fighting a red Dyra, so I think these red Dyras are 200. Okay. So pretty generous for experience early on.
Got our first item of the game.
It is a candle in Heart Container Cave. Joshy D would be proud.
And our town is the back end of Saria, so...
Yeah, not much to do there.
We have Jump Cave going in a direction where you need jump, and Saria going in a direction where you need to find Bagu or get the ferry. So we're looking at our options here in case this continent is split into at least 2 sections, and most of the time it is.
Yeah, very likely that you're going to need to have the boots or take a cave or no Bagu, Death Mountain even.
See, the back end, here's Magic Container Cave, but we saw it on Jack's screen either the back end of Parappa or Fairy Cave. So there'll be a way to go through somewhere, provided those other ends are not just in front of them right here. Look at this this cave.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's 150 for the orange Dyra, 200 for the reds, and that one gives you... That's a total of 550 in that cave, as well as a heart container in Reset Cave. So pretty generous on experience here. Like, incredibly generous. I don't think it can get much better than what it is right now.
What you can do is, if there's a palace or a town really close by, you can duck, and Jam gets wamboozled there. He'll go back to start. You can duck into that palace or that town, go back into that cave, and collect some more experience. There is... Palace 4, so we've seen 4 and 3 or 6 so far.
That's
one more.
Correct.
Yeah, one more left.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's going to be trying to reset that cave and farm again, just because you're just gonna arbitrarily run into those 200-point Dairas. That's part of the reason why I like walking into the forest tiles. You might need Bagu, but at the same time, it splits up all your different enemies. So if you do find a high experience enemy, he's kind of just sitting there alone, separated from all the other guys. So that's a little bit helpful early on.
Yeah, this is the quarterfinals, so grinding probably not going to happen, but for those who haven't played before, that is how you reset caves. There's the kid in Medicine Cave for Jack.
Yeah, and Jackamus just kind of getting all the items quickly. I don't think I've seen Jam get any of them.
Well, Jam's having a little bit of difficulty with this candleless heart container cave that he finally manages to get through, and he'll get the candle here. He took his game over here, and I think he at least lost one additional life. This is Raru for Jack.
I just realized on my item marker I'm marking both of them with J's, so I'm kind of getting lost here.
Go with JA. Go to the second letter. Well, there's our fairy spell, so any potential block we have, it's nullified right now, and since they got fairy or the magic key prior to going into a palace, that could put the raft in a palace right now on the western continent, either in 3 or 6 in Palace 4, or the palace we have not found yet. So it opens up the possibilities to everywhere.
Yep, also a entrance to Death Mountain right there, as well as the grass tile, which holds the hammer, which we're not sure whether or not it's going to help out with getting any items. Sometimes our item caves are blocked by the hammer. The only guaranteed item that's blocked by the hammer is going to be in the boulder in Death Mountain.
Great Palace is the other palace on the western continent. So if a raft is in a palace, it can be in 4 or 3 or 6. But there's still the P-Bag Cave left to find. We found Mito. Saria, the right end of Saria, is the only thing we haven't found so far. Oh, sorry, Trophy Cave.
Okay, yeah, I saw Jackamus. There's one down there in the southeast that he popped into, so that was just Rudo.
Mm-hmm. Jack's going to get downstabbed since he is in Mito.
Seeing the hammer early makes me feel as though Death Mountain is going to contain the raft, but again, that just opens up the possibility.
There's downstab for Jack. Jam's going to continue on here. He got a little bit stalled in the Heart Container Cave. Found Medicine Cave. Now he's in 4. He's going to do a little science on this Red Nut Knuckle. It's only 50. He's very close to 430. His life 4, maybe?
Yeah, really, just those Dairas are just so beneficial without even trying. Jackamus at 333, and Jam is almost there too.
What sprite is Jack using? I don't know the correct answer to that. It's been everything from a pseudo Nut Knuckle, Iron Knuckle, to Shovel Knight. Other people have come in with other guesses to other games. I don't know if I've ever gotten an official answer to that, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody's ever asked him. Everybody just said it's an Iron Knuckle. That's normally what I hear.
I believe the last thing was the dude from Shovel Knight.
Do you see that nice little swamp with that forest tile in there? No way to get to that.
No, I didn't. It just generated inside the mountain?
Yeah. A nice little area that you can't possibly get to.
Okay, so Jam just picks up the kid there. Just want to make sure I got everything right here since I was doing a little bit of back-end stuff.
Yeah, he was, yep, he got all the same things, I believe, except for the hammer and the grass tile. He got, yep, he's been in the Magic Container, Heart Container, and Medicine Cave.
And this coming up here should be Raru, so he should be getting Fairy shortly.
And then the hammer right after that.
Okay, Jack has Fairy. There's P-Bag Cave, so we have not seen Trophy Cave yet, and the right end of Saria, but we have Fairy, so we can go through the bad end of Saria to get there. We don't have to be looking for it on the overworld.
Yeah, is it castable?
Is it castable is a good point. Jack is at Magic 3. He's got 64 Magic containers, 64 MP. There's the kid in the P-Bag Cave, and Fairy for Jam. Both will let you get through doors.
Yep, so keys are not going to be an issue in this seed. 9 minutes in, we do not have to worry about keys anymore, at least for Jackamus, but Jam shouldn't be far behind.
All right, so Jam finds Death Mountain by the grass tile and decides not to look into caves.
And that's another item. You find that key early and the hammer, so it's looking highly probable that the raft is going to be hidden inside one of the palaces or in Death Mountain.
Well, with only the trophy left to find. The trophy cave, I should say, left to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack's going to fairy feet his way across.
Are you allowed to do that? Oh, wait, this isn't all keys. Never mind.
Yeah, there's no glitches allowed in all keys except Ceiling Walk. There's Trophy Cave, so no boulders require breaking in this seed unless you have to go into Death Mountain on the overworld.
Yeah, hammer looks to be mostly worthless, but again, we'll see. And yeah, most likely it will be, as the raft is in Trophy Cave.
I don't want to jinx it because the glove is on the line. But how free is this so far?
That's true. That's true.
How free is this?
It's looking very favorable. It's kind of giving you everything that you want to find early, except for the glove. But I mean, having Fairy, the key, and the raft 10 minutes in, as well as levels 3, 3, 4. Yeah, can't ask for much more than that.
You cannot use an encounter to skip a bridge tile. You can only use encounters to skip tiles where encounters can normally be taken. So that includes walking on water. You can't grab an encounter and skip over anything. Bridge tile or like a cave, town, or palace tile. The bridge tile that you step on to take the is not really necessarily an encounter. It's like a door. It's like an entrance. Think of it.
Yeah, if you look at Jam's screen right now, you can see that little isolated area directly
looks like a
north.
Bubble Bobble head if you ripped off his head at the jaw and you only had the top half
as
left.
he's firing a bubble. Yeah, not bad. I kind of wanted to do that earlier this morning, but that's beside the point.
Rip off somebody's head as they were firing a bubble?
The head of a Bubble Bobble guy.
All right, Jam's going to take this walk north here. The only thing we have not seen so far, and this is only the case for Jack, is the other end of Saria, but we know where the first end is, and he has the potential to get across it. But we still have to see how much Fairy costs at Magic 3. That could be the reason Jack is over here in Palace 1, wakes up the Palace 1 on the Eastern Continent.
Yeah, immediately north of the raft tile once you arrive.
So if anybody sees how much Fairy costs at Magic 3, because both players have it, and both players can have Magic 3, let me know. We might see it here, because Jam's going to pick up the spell in Saria.
Yeah, I would say it wouldn't be that far behind. Jam's most likely going to find that key in P-Bag Cave.
Oh, we're going to have the item room here in 1 for Jack as Jam cashes in the mirror for the... Well, it's the medicine in 1. Gotta tell you, well, there's Thunder. So I was just about to say, the room for this seed, creating like an impossibility where you have to search for that very last item, really is only a trophy for spell for glove, trophy for reflect, boots for the water tile for trophy for this. The spell for reflect. Like, it's there, but it's very narrow. There's the other end of Death Mountain, and it is useless.
Yeah, like you said, very, very unlikely that it's going to be difficult to find that last thing that you need.
So Fairy was 35.
Wow. And then Thunder is castable at Magic 3 too, because Jam just took out 2 red Dairas and another enemy in that. Unreal.
SJP is certainly down, and Jack is going to place the first gem of the game.
Should we start over and give these guys a more difficult seed?
I really think we should, but
Yeah.
let's see where the glove and reflect are first before we do that, and then we'll turn it into a best of 3 as a fun surprise. Wow, that's just a lot of XP for Jam. Now here's the thing, and this is what I always like to set the stage on, including this little paragraph describing it. Jack opted not to go to Saria. He did not get Thunder. Jam's going to make very liberal use of Thunder when he has the NP and pick up several hundred points of experience on the way. Jack is a player who likes to just take... He was the originator, pretty much, of the take every level as you get it. Any possible chance that Jam's levels may prove more useful later on in this game?
I would say it's very high, for sure, because Jam takes on that same leveling strategy. I know from watching him, once he gets to attack 4, it's just take him as you get him, and especially in this seed where you can cast Thunder, you're not going to be worrying about that kind of stuff, so that'll definitely speed things up a little bit for him, unless we see Jackamus getting Thunder pretty soon. And we do see Jam Evil pick up the key himself, so we don't have to worry about keys at all anymore. So forget about that. It's not even part of the game.
So Jack is in 6 now. He's completed 1. That puts 3 on the... Did he up A and go back to the west? Is this the one we saw initially, or is this another palace?
I'm pretty sure it's another one.
So
but again, I blinked, so I'm not sure.
I don't feel like it was green, the one on the western, but if it's not, then it's both palaces we found on the eastern continent already.
Yeah, this is the Ecto Cooler Palace. Even though technically Ecto Cooler was orange, but...
How was it orange?
I'm pretty sure it was.
I think it was green. It was like a bright lime green. Orange was just orange. Icy orange.
Really? The actual liquid was orange? I just thought it was like the container, because I never looked at it. It was always inside the juice box.
High C's logo was always green, but the liquid was green, yeah.
It's been a while. I haven't drank Ecto Cooler in at least a week.
You ever cut open a Capri Sun and see how fermented and moldy it was?
No, I never have.
If you guys want to lose your lunch and chat, Google like Capri Sun mold or something like that.
Ugh.
Nice damage boost there in Jack's end.
So I was going to say, that was beautiful.
I found the BGT room, but he does not have the glove. That's right, Jack does not have the glove, and he's attempting 6 here.
There's a BGT room? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he just dies in that room over and over again. That's why the 1 in 3 is the Joshy D of the BGT rooms, because it's easier.
Exactly.
Trophy room here for Jam. He did not pick up the heart container in Magic Container Cave. He did. So this is the raft. So he's got everything on the western continent right now.
6 is definitely in the east because Jackamus just found Hidden Kasuto directly north of 6.
Did we see how many?
You need 7 magic containers.
That's my question. Thank you.
Which is a lot, so that adds the possibility of having to dig around and find things if there is the glove or the trophy hidden there. And the spell in Hidden Kasuto is Jump, which is just kind of a novelty spell at this point. So Jam did get the raft and the hammer, so he's found all the open items. He's probably going to go sailing right now. Christopher Cross. And wakes up to Palace 1. We'll see if he is going to look for the item at all. Jackamus definitely didn't. Found SJP immediately.
He got the item.
Oh, he did?
It was medicine.
Oh, yeah, my mistake. I actually have that written down. Sorry.
All right, so Jack's going to be looking for... The Valley of Death is going to contain a palace. That's either going to be 2 or 5, and the other one's going to be on the Maze Island.
And that's about as fast a Palace 1 as you can do.
Well, Fast Palace 1, is this Zelda 1 theory logic where you get an early Triforce and you're just going to say, I hope I don't need the item here and I'll see you later? Or is he going to walk right back in and look for the item? He is gone. So if Medicine turns out to be Reflect, Jam Evil is going to have to backtrack. Or Spell for the glove or Reflect.
Yeah, that's this gives me flashbacks of my Kool-Aid race in the first round.
Yes, and for those who don't know, it was a magic container in 1 you skipped, and the magic container would have given you the glove in New Kasuto for magic container requirements.
That's also my race against Link. I had to leave Great Palace to go get magic container out of 1.
All right, Jam is in New Kasuto now. Sees it's 7 containers. Jackamus is in the abandoned town of Kasuto, population him.
And you do need well, apparently you don't need 8 magic containers to get the spell. That's the first time I ever ran into that, was playing your hack earlier, Larry.
That is in vanilla, but you get the things before you need them.
Yeah, I just never ran into it.
That is getting turned on in the later rounds. It might be the finals only, or it might be next round, where players will need 8 magic containers to get the spell in Kasuto.
I'm just gonna say everybody should play Larry's ROM hack just for the desert alone. Well, also Maze Island. But I digress.
Magic container requirements are enabled in the finals. This round, the way this round differs than last round is it shuffles encounters. You can take a forest encounter on a desert tile, let's say. Nice dead end there for Jam. Random life and attack levels, so they can either be more powerful or less powerful than they normally are if they're just fixed. No more fire spell combined. What was that for Jack right there?
That was a glove in a P-Bag cave. So if you want to talk about free seeds, you mentioned this one. Because, yeah, other than Fairy, things are going very quickly here.
Here's the water tile and a bunch of other assorted garbage on the ground, but no boots right now. And at this point, Jack really only potentially needs... Well, no, he can still... Boots could be blocking something. We haven't seen Maze Island yet. The flute could certainly be blocking something, unless we've seen the River Devil when I was looking at Jam's screen. And Trophy could be blocking Reflect, or those things can be blocking items that you're required to get Reflect.
Yeah, if you're Jackamus right now, you want to be doing exactly what he's doing, is getting that last free spell here in Nuburu, because if this is Reflect, pedal to the metal. And speaking of which, wow. Now, we talk about records and fast seeds and stuff like that, but 22 minutes and 30 seconds in, Jackamus is now full dig shake. So all he has to do is beat palaces. Doesn't really have to worry about anything. Just go. And that is lightning fast.
With the small possibility, well, he's got to backtrack to get Thunder. So he's got to...
oh, you're right. He doesn't have Thunder yet. My mistake.
He's got to get back to...
He's not full dig shake. I apologize.
With the small caveat that he may need to find the boots or something to get to Maze Island. It all depends. I don't know if he's taken a single cave yet. He might have, but he definitely didn't take more than one if that's the case. So there's still a possible way to the Maze Island area that doesn't require perhaps needing the boots to walk off the coast to get there. I don't know why I didn't mark Thunder for Jam. Probably just misclicked.
With that different kind of sprite there, I don't even know what to call that one up. A little Jack.
Little Jack. That's his
Jack Jr.
I believe that's his name on in challenge. Is Little Jack. There's the glove for Jam now. 24 minutes in, we've seen every single required item. We've seen Valley of Death, but that was next to the long dead-end road Jam screen. I don't know if we saw the way in there. It's going to contain either Palace 2 or 5. And we have not seen Maze Island yet.
Yeah, still a little bit of exploration required, things to be uncovered, but as far as being full dig shake, I believe I'm correct this time if I do say that Jam Evil is going to be full dig shake here in a second. He actually has all the things.
Well, he has to get everywhere first. And we don't know
I'm
if
just saying he has all the required items.
Well, it's
required. For him, it's just to find palaces.
Not really. The boots could be required.
Well, that's true, but...
So he's certainly not full anything until he arrives at finding all the palaces and he's able to enter them. There's a little technicality on that full dig shake thing. But we don't call it full dig shake, it's true, DO4D.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Please put up your hashtag Do4Ds in chat right now. Are we allowed to say what that actually stands for?
We're on my channel. If you want to say what that stands for, go right ahead.
Maybe later.
So Jack is back in 6 again, because it was on his way to wherever he was going next, and might as well do it. He has the glove this time around.
Yeah, it was a glove block that deterred him out of here in the first place. Good lord.
There's always one guy that ruins everything.
It's always the same guy, too.
It really is. Alright, Jam's going to take this cave through. Let's see where Jack ends up here. His little reverse breadcrumb, the Buzz Thunder breadcrumb. Knows he hasn't been this way before.
That's correct.
We've seen this end of this cave, Jam's in Kasuto Cave. Jack was there earlier. And it just spit him out pretty much right on the other side of where he was. Alright, Jack tries to time that, but he got the mace in the face.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to try an intentional death there, or if he just stopped and took that.
I think he tried to walk out of its range and thought he was okay, and it just hit him.
Oh, okay, he had it calculated.
There's Barba.
Wow, and just to pile it on, I mean, Barba, right there.
He's got jump and he's got the magic to cast it, but he's not going to do it.
It's not really terribly beneficial. I mean, jump, if you do it perfectly on one of the Barba cycles, it only gives you, 1 or 2 more hits. Mm-hmm. At least as far as the way that I know how to do it. So, I mean, I'm actually more comfortable fighting Barba without jump than I am with. I feel that it's more consistent.
I love randomizer tournaments just for the fact that you see, and I won't say it's based on the level of player, because Jack's one of the top, for sure. But you see people, I guess people within, and there's Maze Island for Jam. See people within the same level, same range, same tier, or caliber of player, still do things differently. And it's very fun to watch how people approach boss fighting or exploration and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that definitely makes this game so great, is that there's more than one ways to skin a cat.
P-Bag Cave so far, P-Bag in Maze Island so far is the only item we've seen.
Palace 6 completed for Jackamus, 2 gems to 1.
Even the red Lizalfos is at 200 experience points each.
Unreal.
Jam has a sliver of health left. So this might be... Is he walking by 6 again? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
maybe
that
that's
was
1.
6.
Or is that 6? Okay. So 3 is on the west. 6 is on the east. And here is 5 on Maze Island. So that puts 2 in the Valley of Death.
And yeah, where Jam is sitting right now, he finds a palace, he's going to complete it, especially on Maze Island. Always one of those places that's a little bit out of your way, so once you get there, just get it done.
Jack went back to the west. He has the medicine, so he's going to cash it in Mito. And then potentially we'll either look for the other end of Saria based on the results, or up A back to start where Saria was the first town we saw and ferry through it. Or just do 3 and 4 since they're on this continent.
Yeah, it's hard to say the method that he's going to use, whether he's going to do those things, you know, to rule things out, because he seems to just do things as they come. But I would say that it's very important to right now is to find make sure you don't need to look for any more spell items, any additional spell items.
Well, on his side of things, he has not found Darunia. I don't think either player has actually physically found Darunia. He doesn't have the spell for Nukasudo. And Saria, he's never seen Saria. So... Oh, he's gonna cash in the medicine and go back to the east. This could be very costly for Jack, because he's done a lot of exploration so far in the east. He doesn't have the boots. We know you can get the Maze Island without him. And he's just going to have to remember where he's been, where he's not been, and he might start double checking, backtracking here and waste a little time.
Yeah, pretty surprising, because I'm pretty sure that the wrong side of Saria was directly south of start, or southeast of start, you know, right there.
It was the first town we found.
Yeah.
So it was somewhere around there. And he's going to up A, and he's going to start over on the western continent, so this might benefit him.
Yeah, see if he came to that realization, knows that he can just cast Fairy, and then he'll be able to go and get it.
And he's going to do 3. Jam presses down to jump in lava.
That's a dangerous room to do that in. That's the Joshy D of BGT rooms, right? Did I do that right?
No.
Okay, I'll stop then. I'll be quiet for 10 minutes now. Yeah.
Let's play a game. Let's see how long you can be quiet for.
Oh, is that why I'm here?
So Jackson 3. And this was the first thing we saw, and he'll probably hit the town on the way. I don't know exactly, like, I would say at this point in time, everyone left in this tournament does everything on memory. And they're too cool to take notes or whatever. I wonder if Jack knows he hasn't seen Saria. Because we've seen people forget things before. But it's worth pointing out rather than accusing that there is a possibility maybe he did forget Saria. And it will take walking into Saria again to remind him.
You're right. When you find something so early, so quick, and then it's, you know, when you find the wrong side, it's like, oh, that's insignificant, you know. It's easy to forget. Yeah, you never know. It's hard to say. I mean, I've seen some of the better players go into Death Mountain like 5 different times in a seed. So sometimes if you don't write stuff down, you kind of forget what you've done.
And I've certainly watched races of people who have very high caliber level of play in this game. And an hour and 52 minutes in, they realized the boots were in the cave just to the north of where they start the game, and never got them. So it happens. It's the randomizer can confuse you a little bit with all that it throws at you, and depending on how you explore and stuff like that. But that's just, it's hearsay, it's speculation, just to build a little drama is all.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with not taking notes and doing it by memory. I mean, that works well for a lot of people. But again, there is always that chance. I mean, even if you do take notes, I've written down something wrong before, or not written something down.
Meanwhile, Jam's still in 5. This is Palace 5 in all its glory right now. He finds a dead end.
Looks like Jackamus is in the item room in 3.
Alright, Jam takes that level. Is he going to up A? He is going to up A. So he kills one more thing to get that attack level, and he's going to start Palace 5 all over again. And that is a digger, a little Jack in Palace 3. I feel like, and I should ask him this afterwards as Jam arrives at Guma.
Wow.
I feel like Jack's looking for the boots. He feels like he needs the boots. So this looks like one of those situations in Palace 5 where Guma's very close to start, but just the logic and the meta of playing randomizers in palaces where you just go right all the time puts you on a long path to not get there.
Yeah, it seemed like it was like there was an immediate right turn that brought you to nowhere, but the other right turn brought you in the next room was him, so...
Yeah, we see that a lot in Palace 4. Right brings you everywhere else, down and right brings you right to Carrick. It's going to tie that up at 2 gems apiece, one of those gems being Palace 5, but Jack has a gem in Palace 6. So, 2 of the tougher exploration palaces. One person has one person has the other.
Yeah, as far as talking about who's ahead or in the lead, which is hard to say, you know, at any point in one of these races, but it really comes down to the fact that Jackamus has not gone into Saria.
Yes, and if he remembers to go into Saria, that's a non-issue because you don't need Thunder until the end of the game.
Yeah, it's not far away. He's going to have to go back. I mean, he's already back in the West. He's going to have to beat 4. He's going to have to be back there to get 7. Odds of an up A are very likely. Saria is not far away. So, again, it's not a huge thorn at this point.
Jam saved a little bit of time in Palace 1 by not going for the item. Jackamus looked like he full cleared 3, going for the item and then trying to find Revo.
Yeah, I agree. That was 3 usually not very long, but he was in there for a while.
Yeah, Jam has seen everything he's needed to see to complete this seed, so he's not even going to waste time with that second item in Maze Island. Like, you can officially say it now for Jam.
Yeah, we know that we don't need the boots. We don't need that extra magic container. You don't need the other spell item. He could just go. Man, it looks like he's gonna go pick up Upstab just to be safe.
There's the 3rd gem there for Jackamus in Palace 3. Now he's gonna go down. Let's see where he goes. The other palace on this end is Palace 4 and Great Palace. But then again, he knows he hasn't been to Saria yet. That was Jump Cave, I believe. And that right there was Heart Container Cave. Upstab for Jam. Let's see if he goes and picks up the luxury item. Luxury spell. There he goes. See, I told you he wouldn't forget.
Yeah, that's right. You did say that. There's no way he's going to forget that.
No.
Jam is going to go in here and pick up the worthless fire spell for some reason.
Could it be the spell? It's
Well, it
spell
could, but I was just trying to seem smart by guessing a 50-50 right.
Well, if I want
Thanks for that, Larry.
if I want to assume people if I want to put accusations out there, like has Jack found, does he know he needs Saria and stuff like that, just for a little bit of drama, I wonder if Jam knows that Fire's not linked in this round. And maybe he was going for it for a cheaper other option, because he only had Spell, Fire, and Shield left. Sure, you're walking by the town, but...
Yeah, but it's definitely castable, but really not a terrible, out of your way. He's right there. That was probably an extra 30 seconds to find something that might help you out.
And Ari in chat is absolutely right. Jam's going to take care of 2 in Valley of Death first, then up A and do everything on the Western Continent. Never have to be back to the East again.
Yep, that is the way to do things. Reduce your backtracking, especially between continents. Once you're over there, just get it done.
Chat wants to know, has Buzz done this seed? No, he's just a rando god. So he doesn't need to do the seed to understand it.
Well, I mean, I was wrong about that spell, so... I should tell you right there. But yeah, apparently I know things about stuff. I don't know. I'm more of a Panic Restaurant guy, actually.
You know who's not a... Oh, we can get into that another time.
Go ahead, Larry. Come on.
So Jam is in 2. Jack is in 4. I don't recognize this palette color.
Yeah, it's gotta be 4. Everything's green so far. 3, 6, and this one, which has to be 4, are all green. And there's even green drapes in Palace 2.
Which Jam destroys.
Yeah, I mean, that was like your Palace 5, Guma right in the next room, your Palace 1, Horsehead in the next room. Even Palace 6 didn't seem that long.
Speaking of, Jam does have to do Palace 6. I incorrectly said he was going to do Valley of Death and everything on the west, and he was done. I do not believe he's done Palace 6, unless I missed it and it was over in a blink of an eye. I don't think he's...
No, he definitely hasn't.
It was right by...
But he did up A.
Well, he was in Valley of Death, and it was right by the raft tile, so...
Okay.
We're a little bit ways away from the raft tile, because we found it really quickly after 1, so it couldn't have been that far. Jack is going to check the middle shelf here in 4.
See, that's always something I feel is, it seems like it takes a long time to walk out of Valley of Death, but it really doesn't. If you have a fairy spell, you can fairy feet.
Jack's going to go for the item. I really feel like he thinks he needs the boots, and he could put the boots to use if he finds them. He grabs the magic container. That's something Jam does not have. Thunder is castable, but there might be a little bit of luxury having a couple more magic containers over not, if he's done looking for spells later on.
Let's see if Jam's probably going to do the same full clear that Jackamus did here in 3.
Just
from the way that it was laid out.
Jack has to take an intentional death here to fill his magic.
Man, I tell you what, speed. Everything's right there.
Yeah, even Reflect is castable for Jam right now, so...
This should be a sub-hour seed.
Jam's trying to build momentum here, and he finally does it. He gets up over that ledge and finds himself outside, and he's going to turn right back around.
Ouch. Just wanted a breath of fresh air.
Meanwhile, Jackamus downs Carrick, and he's going to be placing his 4th gem here.
See, again, I didn't see where Jackamus was doing. It seemed like a full clear, so it is a possibility that Jam's going to run into the item room and have to go back.
Mm-hmm. There it is, the item room. He's going to...
Yeah. Yep, you're gonna have to take a left turn at some point in this palace.
I think it was right down that elevator after the outside.
Well, he just went down that elevator.
Yeah, he went right. You can go left there, I believe.
Oh, there's a left and right. Okay. He still wants the item though. Interestingly enough.
Well, it could be. It could be.
I mean, any container, take it.
That's probably the only thing you don't want to see.
Yeah, that's. I mean, or the flute or the cross, but yeah.
Red jar. Jam's gonna try to find a magic pixel here, so he doesn't take any damage on his way through.
Interesting. Is he on his last? No, he just picked up a life.
He just picked up a life, but he did find the magic pixel and doesn't take damage.
So I don't even know how that works. You have to line that up before you enter the underneath the wall?
Yes, because if you push up when you're underneath the wall, you're underneath the wall, like directly. If you line it up just right, you're a little bit clipped into the wall, and there's a little bit more space on the hurt box, so you can pass right through. Jack finds Maze Island now.
Still learning things about this game every day.
We never saw the second item here on Maze Island, but Jack is more concerned with just getting to that palace and completing it. He will fairy feet across. He's taking a lot of damage trying to get up and over. Not the damage, but it's the knockback and time loss that's really the concern.
It's pretty interesting the way that this seed has gone out as far as a lot of these palaces that normally you don't have to clear at all. They just throw the boss right at you, not hard to get to. But then 3, normally the easiest boss to find, is one of the hardest that we've seen.
Yeah, 3 looked like a big spiral.
Yeah.
All right, Jack is at Palace 5. He doesn't up A. He's on beeping strats right now. He wants to hold on to that 1,000 XP. Take whatever level that is. If he gets it early, he may up A in favor of the life refill. Probably not, because he's going to fill up right here.
Elevators seem like they're moving slow in this seed. Is that a coincidence?
Looks like the designer of this game spent all the money on the tech of the rest of the game and paid no attention to speeding up the elevators.
Yeah, that's weird.
It was a Patreon donation incentive. I think I got $6 million to speed up the elevators.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, didn't have to take a single picture of myself to do it. So foreshadowing a bit here, if Jam doesn't pick up another, well, he needs several magic containers, but most likely when he's in Great Palace, and I guess Jack too, they're gonna have to Death Abuse at Thunderbird to refill magic if they cast life on the way, or if they got nudged into a bubble or something and it took a little bit of magic.
Yeah, I mean that's, I would call that. I'd say it's more rare not having to take a death at Thunderbird than it is.
Well, there's a lot of red jars in Great Palace, though, so it could
That's
present
true.
itself that there's one beforehand, but it almost means that they can't cast a single thing, whether it's jump to help them through a room faster, or to avoid a chicken night, or life to refill their health. Something's, whatever it is, all of a sudden they can't cast Thunder anymore, and they're going to have to take a death at Thunderbird. But, I mean, the trade-off is you're not going to go spend 20 minutes looking for 2 or 3 magic jars. It is what it is at this point. You just got to hope your opponent doesn't have like 7 magic containers, and they have to do the same thing. I guess you're not even really thinking that. You just want to get done with the game. That's
think about that once you get there. If it's really a difficult Great Palace and you have to take some deaths before you get there,
the only thing
which does happen.
The only thing you have to concern yourself with there is the magic jar there for Jam to go to 5. So he's in 4. So he grabs that. Just, do you have enough to cast Thunder? And both players do, and they know that already.
Yeah, that's an important thing to know.
Take the final drop here. I love this drop because I always feel like Carrick's right after it. And he is again.
Yeah, always a high percentage. Something about the logic of how the randomizer builds the dungeons. Like, once you take a drop, you need to be able to find your way back out. And by back out, it still means being able to exit through the boss counts. I've never seen anybody really move around or whatever Jam is doing, but he seems to be taking more damage than anybody I've ever seen in this fight too.
It's the most fun to fight him running around. It just, you know, like those that do Dark with Dark Link, it's just not inducive of saving time. It's just putzing around, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Link legit is it's fun. I had an invincibility spell, did it earlier today, but it still took me about 5 minutes.
And he's gonna go back to 6 now, back to the Eastern Continent and take care of 6. Jack is still going through 5, and we know that 5 was very short. You just had to go the right direction to start. And now it's how long will Jack go through this Palace Buzz before he decides to up A and go over, start over?
Yeah, most likely he took the same route that Jam did, where it so it was an up elevator that brought you to a right turn, which looks promising, but then you kind of have to run through everything and scramble around. Oh wait, that was a dead end.
That was a dead end right there, yeah.
Jam on his search for Palace 6, which is directly north of this graveyard, if I remember correctly.
So this is the room that Jam killed that red Iron Knuckle and said, you know what, screw this, up aid. Jack's gonna walk back. So that's the worst part of 5 is, you know, when you can just make an easy path to the boss and you keep trying to go through all these other nooks and crannies trying to remember what you possibly could have forgotten or whatnot. But a benefit of 5 is there's a lot of enemies here. And you can gain a few levels. We've seen Shiner, CCC, brings that to light when I was talking to him after some races. I don't know if Jack wants to hold on to this 2000 or if there's just another path he could have taken and he's going to go walk there now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. But as far as your experience, yeah, that was always, you know, before I knew anything about this game other than my own knowledge, this is where I would spend a lot of time killing Magos.
Jam finds
just trying to get a few levels.
Jam finds the pass-through there. And takes a drop, finds the ferry. He's going to go through here. We know what the item is in here? No, that means Jack did not find it on his way through.
Yeah, it's basically there's either a dead end or you go straight into, well, I know there's a glove block, and I think it forces you to take a drop and then it kind of just like spits you right out of Barba.
Yeah, Barba is across the room with the statue that you have to jump over the pit, because we remember Jack took the mace right in his grill and took a death in that room.
Yeah, the damage boost.
Nope. Jam saves himself, but he's got to go all the way back to the start and reset the room.
Yeah, that's the one's always tricky. Like, even if you do end up casting it, it's kind of like, oh, is it even worth it? You know, unless you're on your last life, it's like, should I really go all the way back?
Item room
or
here.
just give up that life.
Jack finds the item room. See if he gets the item in an up A's. It's a magic container. He's gonna walk out. He is, yeah. I mean, he's.
I think he wants that level.
I don't think it really is on his. I don't know. Jack's a good enough player not to do something just because the level is 110 points away or 202 points away. But Jam also finds the item room in 6 and opts to do it.
Yeah, it does seem like a unusual amount of grabbing utility items here.
It is also a magic container, so both players find magic containers that can be helpful later on. It might enable them to cast a life spell where they normally couldn't if they wanted to preserve the Cost of Thunder, or throw out a fairy or two to get around tougher rooms. There's a certain people in this tournament that they just like to fight. They like to fight things, and they'll kill everything in their path. And I believe Jack's one of those guys. It's like a dude in front of me, yeah, no problem. I can take him out.
I mean, not a bad strategy. If you can do it quickly and efficiently, you're just going to have all that extra experience to spend.
Absolutely, and he grabs attack 6 there. And he finds it's a dead-end room, but I know it's a dead-end room, but I'm going to walk through it anyway, but he turns around, dead-end room.
I really want to see him up A and see how close Guma is, because I know that he's just digging himself deeper in.
Well, there's another dead end, and here's your up A. He's got that level, so...
So I remember Jam doing the same thing. Didn't take him as long. He didn't go as many different directions as Jackamus did, but it seems like this right turn is going to be Guma in the very next room.
You just got to go down 2 floors instead of down the 1 floor that takes you to 100% of the other rooms in the dungeon.
Yeah, really hard to get away from that.
No, I brought it up a lot of times. Again, Palace 4 is synonymous with that. Same situation. You go through to one elevator, there's a right-hand turn, so of course you take it. You're playing a randomizer, you want to get to the boss. And then you go down 1 more and there's a right-hand turn there, and it's boss next room. Unless you're just doing something for the sake of doing something, you're going to take that first path. It's like bred into you. Alright, Jack has 2 left. 2 is on the Valley of Death.
And Jam's backtracking a little bit through Palace
6.
Through Palace 6. I was just trying to think about which way he went, but it did really seem like, yeah, he's definitely backtracking. I thought that Jackamus didn't take him very long to find Barba after he got the glove when he came back in for the second time. But again, with 2 visits, you kind of do clear out some rooms and narrow it down. So it might just be the right turn after this drop.
I don't know.
Kind of the same thing in that Palace 5.
I don't know if Jack had cast Fairy in that room, if he missed it, if he didn't have the spell, the magic for it.
He did. Yeah, his first time in, he casted Fairy and ran into a glove box and then walked over. So I'm pretty sure that Jam's on the right path right now. It's just that same Palace 5 thing where it, casting Fairy was actually detrimental because it brings you to this other arm or leg of the palace that doesn't really lead you anywhere.
Yeah, so Jam had a comfortable lead with the gem count, 5 to 4. But Jack's right in Palace 2 now. Helmet Head's not that far away, and both players are just an up A away as Jam finds another dead end area. Both players are just an up A away from being pretty much at Grey Palace.
Yeah, this is the way that it's looking here, because I do remember Jackamus finding that dead end that Jam just did. So it looks like he's going to drop or go down this elevator, and then Barba's right there. But if Jackamus takes the same path, which was just, I think, 1 or 2 rooms, Helmet Head was right there. So it looks like we're both going to enter Great Palace with about 30-second difference. So hold on to your hats. This is going to be pretty close.
Level-wise, Jack is a little bit down on life, a little bit down on magic. I don't think that's going to really matter at all. But the little bit down on life could cause a little bit of problem if he bops a few things. Probably the same amount of hits for death, though. But
Yeah, here we go. Helmet head for Jackamus and Jam Evil finding Barba.
Yeah, it was simultaneous last boss fights, but being helmet head, you just had to kind of brush up against him, and Jack is placing his last gem at the time that Jam is jackhammering for the first time on Barba.
Oh, you didn't say Jackamus hammering.
I did not. It was not him that did it. He was jam hammering.
Oh, all right, sorry. So that's the difference right here. Is the Jam Evil Barba fight time is the difference between our runners. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, it seems like it's going to be about a 30-second difference. So yeah, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, Jack definitely did he just decided not to take the level. What was Jam's level? 667? Okay. Really quickly out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw 867. I said, no, there's no possible way he went 867 after that gem.
Man, we might be exactly because Jam's not obeying and Palace 7 is right by the raft tile. Okay, here we go.
Oh, Jack enters at 59.54 on our timer and 59.54 on Jam's time. Well, I guess it was 45 on Jack's time. I don't know. I messed that up, whatever.
The difference that I saw there was 6 seconds. Jackamus has a 6-second lead coming into Great Palace.
Well, we're going to go to a corridor room, down into an elevator room, so we have one option, and right into an Eon room, so there's going to be multiple options to take now. How meta are people going to get? Jack has to cast Fairy to save himself, and he's going down. He's doing it for the lulz.
I was saying, it's always a dead end to the right of Eon room. Well, not always, but it has been recently.
And Randall God, Buzz Thunder does it again. There is the dead end. So Jam will also drop, so no big advantage here for Jack. He's able to cast Fairy for a second time and save himself in the fun room. And go down into a theater room. Here's one thing, Buzz, for you. The drop dropped you right into a dead end room. There's got to be... He can't be walking directly into a dead end room now. So it kind of looks like, if I'm playing, that we have a nice little path here towards an eventual second drop, or if we're not looping back to the first elevator room, right to Thunderbird.
Yeah. I mean, that would just stay consistent with the seed from what we've seen so far. The difference, however, is...
Well, it can't be.
I don't think Jackamus has upstab.
He does not, but he has Thunderbird, and by the way, he could not loop back to that first elevator room without a path, because then that would mean no additional rooms in Great Palace.
Oh yeah, you're correct.
So it was kind of like he had to find something in this path. Whether it was a way back to start through additional paths or to Thunderbird, and, there you go. It's right to Thunderbird. Both players, Jack had to take the death, Jam didn't. Both players are fighting Thunderbird simultaneously. This is a great race here.
Yeah, incredible. I've never seen anybody do that. Jackamus stood in the middle, casted Thunder right when he came out, and then actually got a hit on Thunderbird before he rose to the top.
I think we've seen fewer people use jump strategies on Thunderbird this time around in this tournament than we did last tournament. Both players have attack 6. Jam has a little bit better edge in life 7. But Jack's going to get out of the Thunderbird fight first, but Jam's not far behind. Now it's just a race to Dark Link, and how many rooms do we have to go through? Okay.
Well, we only have to go through one. Wow, and that Jam Evil missing he missed 2 stabs on Thunderbird on that swoop. That really might make the race right here. Let's just watch.
Every single room in this palace left was to the left of the first elevator room.
Yep. Could Jam get a more favorable pattern here and pass up Jackamus?
Oh, they're down to the last hit. Both of them. Jam hits him first.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, Jackamus just got an unfavorable pattern, and it looks like he's probably only going to lose by about 2 seconds.
Jack got trolled by that Dark Link right there. Jam just
wow,
nice and composed, was able to get in every hit. But how is that for a seed? I mean, you want to talk about free
Unreal.
and easy pretty much for everything, and then it goes right down to the last second, an hour and 3 minutes into the race. It sucks for Jack, and I tell you why, because this guy's had horrible luck this week with racing and the seeds he's had, and just losing losing in Dragon Warrior Randomizer, and he lost in this race as well by a couple seconds. Like, he played the hell out of this one. I would say he came from behind a little bit near the end, even in taking a little while to do Palace 5. He was down in gem counts. And
Wow.
right,
What was the official difference?
official difference was 9 seconds.
Can't get closer than that.
No, 9-second difference. And I believe 9-second difference, and both players had the fastest time in this tournament so far. I forget what Digshake's time was against Josh.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're correct in that. I would say that both of these are going to be the fastest time.
Yeah, fastest time, and second fastest time in a tournament so far is a loss. It's just amazing how that happens. See if anybody
Man,
wants
talk about it. Wow, what a seed. He just gave you everything.
Yeah, and you know what? I like these seeds sometimes, especially when you see two really good players at this game. Here's everything. What are you going to do with it? And you watch them do two different things. They branched out. They went different places, and they arrived at the end at pretty much exactly the same time. These are great races to watch when they're like this.
Yeah, it's funny because I just say you brought up the argument before about they're going to get that extra item that they might not need. Maybe that extra magic container or heart container will save them that extra few seconds. But in this case, if you skipped one of those magic containers, that might have been the race.
Well, we can talk to the guy who won right now. Hey, Jam, congratulations, man. That was a close one.
What up, homies? Yeah, wow, I've never seen a race so close in Zelda 2 randomizer history.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch because on both sides of the fence, you guys were doing different things, and obviously, right at the end, you arrived at the same exact place. Take us through your end of the thing first. What was going on in your head as you were racing?
I don't remember. Honestly, I blacked out during that and woke up at Dark Lake. So everything was just so surreal for me. That was the fastest I've ever beaten one of these before. Definitely the fastest seed, and even with the more difficult flags. My early grinding, I think, was key to my ability to navigate and not game over as much. I started off with a mean game over, so coming back from that, I'm happy to have come out on top for sure.
And Jack, I'm sorry, man. This was a hell of a race. I'm sorry you had to take the loss there. Condolences, but a hell of a race though. Overall, you played the crap out of it.
Honestly, I'm stunned there. You don't expect to lose a race in this tournament when you're finishing under 70 minutes. So yeah, that surprised me there. Like I was like one hit away from finishing Dark Link when I just see the done show up, and it's like, you're fucking kidding me.
I tell you, one of the earlier things in this race was the fact before we knew that everything was just so free and out in the open, Jack, you had the medicine out of 1. Jam, you beat 1 so fast that you turned right around and just started doing something else. That was one of the earlier stages that was set for something to be done in the lines of needing to find that magic item to complete the game, or anything that stalled you. There was pretty much none of that. Do you like races like these better, Jam, or do you like to ultimately you like to win better? I'm sure, but if you were playing normally, do you like puzzles, or do you like everything out in the open? Let me see how fast I can go.
Well, this just comes down to flag set at this point. Having some of the more important items and spells before dungeon diving really takes a load off. But in the earlier rounds, you saw a lot more people, going into dungeons and looking for the items that were needed, and that just didn't happen in this one. Everything was given to you. I think we were full. I was full dig shake by like 29 minutes, sub 30 full dig shake. So from there, it was just dungeon diving and not worrying about items.
Jack, early on, before you found Saria, you went over to the east. Then after a few things you'd done in the east, you tried to dip into 6. I mean, you might have even completed 6 at this time after you got the glove. You defeated 1. Then you went back to the west. Were you looking for the boots at all? Did you think you couldn't find Maze Island and you thought maybe they were boot blocked?
Oh, no.
Okay.
There was 3 different pass-through caves that I saw, so one of them had to go to the other side of the continent for sure.
Yeah, one of us on commentary was hung up on the fact that you might have been looking for the boots in the western continent, and not seeing Saria, we were wondering whether if you missed it or not, or if you were just going to go get back and grab it at the end.
I found the back end of it. I basically guessed where the front end of it was, and the idea was I'd just check it later if I was still missing a necessary spell, because 4 was not too far from the back end of Saria. And if I need Thunder, well, I don't need that until I'm heading to GP, which is on the west anyway.
I don't think, other than the glove and the 1 P bag that Jam saw in Maze Island, I don't think I've ever seen a race where not a single other item on the Eastern Continent or New Kasuto was even approached. It's pretty crazy. Magic containers, guys. Were you hoping for late magic containers, and that's why you dipped into Palace item rooms when you arrived at them?
I think it just so happened that those were the item rooms. It was Palaces 4 and 6 that had magic containers, and you're going right anyway looking for the boss. So I guess once you get into that room, you might as well check it. It takes 20 seconds to grab an item. So it kind of just happened that way with Palaces 4 and 6 having those right hand item rooms and the right hand bosses.
Yeah, pretty much. Like whenever you find everything before you really pick up any containers, I mean, in this case, you could have gotten away with 4 magic containers because the spells were all pretty cheap. But like if you find an item room, you might as well get it, because if it's a container, it might save you a death or get you another spell somewhere. So it's usually a wash to just pick it up if you find the room.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that, because that's always been the argument as far as, why don't you get that item? You're right there. It'll take you a couple seconds. Maybe it'll save you, the race. But it kind of changes your perception when the difference in a race comes down to 9 seconds.
Yeah. One thing that I was not feeling particularly good about was whenever I got really lost in Palace 5, I ended up backtracking a lot. I didn't realize that it was so far to get back to the start. Otherwise, I would have just up and aid and, not burned the last 2 or 3 gems there and just gotten attack 6 the old-fashioned way,
Yeah, when you were you arrived at a room where Jam did the same thing, because how can you not? You find the first right, you're going to take it. Why would you go to the second right until you were forced to do it? Jam got to a room and took a level. It might have even been attack 5 or attack 6 on a red iron knuckle, and then up aid, and then went down to the second room and found Guma. You were a little bit further away, XP wise, in that room. And I guess your answer of you thought start was a little bit closer is the answer, but were you holding on to that XP longer than you may have needed to?
Oh, no, I really had no attachment to the XP. I just knew that there were a couple other elevators that could potentially lead to other rights along the route that I took, so I backtracked to get to those, but none of them ended up going where I needed to, so I saw entirely too much of Palace 5, and then I was not pleased when I went down twice at the start and saw the boss right there. Like, I was feeling pretty darn good about the race until I saw that. But then, like, you go into GP sub an hour and you're thinking, all right, I'm in good shape here. I mean, obviously I'm disappointed that I lost, but, I definitely lost to one of the best players in the tournament, I would say there. So, like, if we're finishing, like, 10 seconds apart or something, like, man, I want to watch that one, kind of see how she looked.
Yeah, I don't think you lost it. Well, it's hard to say when you lose by 9 seconds where you could have lost it. But the time you lost in 5, you actually saved over Jam in 6 because he took a little bit longer in 6. You took a little bit longer in 5, and obviously, if you're both in Great Palace at the same time, neither one of you have had an advantage over the other up until that point. It's fun to watch it because it was a hell of a race.
Yeah, yeah. It'd pretty much be a wash there. Like, I went into 6 early, and there was one room where if you just followed the standard meta and just keep going right, it was just full of blues and doom knockers, and it's just like, you know what? When I go back into 6, I'm going to try going left at the start. And hey, that was the path.
Yeah, it certainly was. So, best of luck to you, Jam. In the next round, you're going to be playing Nirm.
Oh, the rematch. All right. He's the only one that's beaten me in this tournament so far.
So, how are you going to prepare for that upcoming matchup?
I'm going to play a lot of Zelda Breath of the Wild and forget about this for about a week and a half until we finally schedule it. And then I'm just going to practice for 10 minutes before the race and do the same thing that I did tonight.
That's probably the best way to do it. If you practice a whole bunch of seeds, you'll just have a whole bunch of extra information in your head, and you'll forget what you did and didn't do. You got the right idea, man. If you got the chops to play the rando, which you certainly do, you probably don't want to practice it too much.
And Jack, what does everyone expect from you? Why don't you plug what you're going to be up to in the next coming weeks?
Well, I'm actually going to Ottawa next Sunday for a handful of days. I'm going to be staying with Bryself of Twitch fame, and we're going to hang out and stream a bunch of co-op stuff, co-op Smash TV, probably do some races. It's going to be a pretty awesome time.
Awesome. And you got that other tournament thing, the unfortunately ultimate loser match. Probably a bad time to bring it up, but but it is something near and dear to my heart. So I do want to give that the proper shout out. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'll be happening soon. Have Ryan and Heffley done their race yet?
They have, and Ryan lost. Although they're both losers, but Ryan 7 actually really lost that game. And it's Jackamus versus Ryan 7 in that match.
Ooh, that'll be fun. Me and Ryan had a pretty decent race in the Swiss round of the tournament here, so a little bit of a rematch there. I think I won that one, so he might be looking to take me to school at the old Panic restaurant there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're breathing, you can probably beat Ryan 7, but that's for another post game interview, another discussion. But yeah, thanks for putting on this race, guys. Thanks for being so good at this game that it was very entertaining for everyone involved. And best of luck to you in your next races and tournaments and stuff like that.
Question: was that the fastest race of the tournament so far?
I didn't want to bring it up because it was the fastest race of the tournament so far, and congratulations to you. But Jackamus is second best. It was second best as well.
Well, hot damn! Congratulations, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for a good match.
Yeah, you too, man. That was a classic. I want you to go on and win the whole thing now because makes me look better for losing to you that way.
Yeah, perfect. I got you. I'll try my best. Nirm's a really tough opponent. So.
Translated, just somebody beat Dig Shake, I think is what he meant by that.
Hey, I've beaten Dig Shake in non-tournament races before.
Oh, he's very
I remember
beatable.
one race where I kind of turned the tables on what happened tonight. I finished like 3 seconds ahead of him or something like that. I guess what goes around comes around.
Yeah, you play long enough. I guess you can experience a little bit of everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Fortunately and unfortunately.
This has been a great tournament. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Final Four can do. I mean, I was 5th last year. I'm 5th again this year. So, hey, I didn't do worse, I guess.
Oh, it's very consistent. So congratulations and thanks again.
Yeah. Good luck in the next round there, Nirm. Thanks for restreaming and doing commentary there, Buzz and Larry. Always a pleasure.
Sure thing.
You got it, guys. Buzz, parting words.
Great race, everybody. Thanks for running, guys. Thanks for having me, Larry, and thank you, Digshake, for the randomizer.
That command obviously doesn't work, but if you do want to follow the runners and stuff like that, Nightbot was probably spamming it every 20 minutes, so you can scroll up on the screen and find it. I found it. I'll copy and paste it. And thanks everyone for joining us. That is the end of the quarterfinals. The semifinals will start introducing a best of 3 format, and that is going to be with the same flags as this race, except with the inclusion of it will shuffle life refill. Life will refill 1 to 5 bars instead of the standard 3, I think it is. Maximum 7 heart containers are there to be found. The additional heart container will turn into a 500-point P-bag. And path encounters are no longer safe. So those are the 3 there. Jam Evil, the winner of this match, will play Nirm in the next round. And Digshake versus Uno. So those will be very close races, very interesting races, and I'll be excited to watch them go the distance. And I guess I'll speak for myself on that one. So thanks everyone for joining us, and have a good night.